This is episode 3, where we talk all about love, self-love, love, family love, career love, and loving what you do. This is Confident Motherhood. If you're looking for inspiration, for a place where women are building each other through meaningful conversations, in a definite judgment-free zone, then you are in the right place. Welcome to Confident Motherhood. Hello everyone, and welcome to Confident Motherhood. I am so excited to talk to you guys today about love and the different ways that we can talk about love and express love. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank everybody that has been giving us a review over on iTunes or leaving us a comment. I appreciate it. Your stars, your ratings are really, really important, and I'm so thankful. So let's talk about love. I'm going to first and foremost go over the definition of what love is. You just look it up online, and it tells us that love is an intense feeling of deep affection. It is a great interest and pleasure in something, or that it could be. And it's to feel a deep romantic or sexual attachment to someone. Love and irresistible desire, which is irresistibly desired, encompasses a variety of strong and positive emotional and mental states, ranging from the most sublime virtue or good habit, the deepest interpersonal affection, and to the simplest pleasure. So I want to talk to you guys differently about the different ways I think about love, and I'm splitting it into self-care, self-love. We're going to be discussing love when it comes to your partner. We're going to be talking about family love, career love, and actually being in love with what you do, because there's a difference. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is self-love, self-care. And that is something that right now it is being talked about, highlighted anywhere you turn. Self-love, self-care. Especially, I would say, even in the motherhood community. It's something that we are discussing on a daily basis, and it is important. But I also feel that most people don't really understand, or I guess grasp the idea of like how self-love works, what is self-love, self-care. So we're going to talk about that. So I think that for me, I found that my lowest points are when my body has been the most sick or just overwhelmed, with thoughts and things like that. And I like to take some time when I feel like that and just create an area of self-love. So like, there's some days that my husband's like, go take some time for yourself and go enjoy yourself. And I love that. But aside from that, from being distracted away from an area that can cost you love, but also cost you stress, such as, the environment of your home with your kids. Of course, you love your kids. You're in love with your kids. But it's also overwhelming in the motherhood community where you're just like, okay, I need a little break. So that's one of the things of like, how can you practice self-love daily, even being at home in those type of situations where you feel like, oh my gosh, the kids are going to drive me crazy. So there's a couple of things I'm going to share with you. The first one is creating a self-love ritual. So for me, I know that first thing in the morning, I'm like going on my phone, I'm doing my devotional, but then I check my phone. It's just part of the business routine, and I've been trying to change that. So in the mornings, I'm preparing myself, preparing the kids, and instead of quickly emerging into work, I'm like, okay, no. Let's shut off the TV. Let's shut off social media for the first 20 minutes, in the morning when we're all done with breakfast and everything, and focus, on pampering myself here at home. And that is as basic as your lotion. Get your lotion and put it on your hands, and thank the universe, thank God for your hands, and be like, you know what? I'm so thankful for my hands because they allow me to love my kids. They allow me to hold my kids. They allow me to be able to write. They allow me to be able to brush my hair, brush my teeth. I am so thankful for them. Another thing that you can do when it comes to that is your feet. You put lotion all over yourself, get to your feet, and thank your feet because you're able to get from one point to the other. You're able to go from where you are to where you need to be. And that's something to be really thankful for because they take you everywhere. And then your body, your mind, thanking yourself and the gratitude for having a body that perhaps isn't 100% healthy, but be thankful for the good things that you do have within yourself, within your body that help you with that. So the next thing is building a precious community. I think that is so important, and I really do feel like I have a community that is amazing, both personally and I would say in the business. Instagram has really brought me to a different level in a sense of community, and I love that. I appreciate that. So that's another thing, having a support system, love from people around you that are motivating you to stay on track. They talk positive to you. Their energy is contagious, whether you're building a network or not, whether this is just your regular routine on Instagram or whatever it is, or whether you're with family and members that you see throughout. So creating a community. Another practice of self-love is what's working for me, making a list. So I often used to be like, gosh, like this isn't working. This is not like the way that I want it to be. And instead of doing that, I've been switching around to what is working. What am I loving, having around me? What practices am I doing that I'm loving and that are working for me? So writing them down on paper will definitely help you accept the positivity in all of them and in life. And it makes it so much easier than just looking at the negative. The next practice for self-love is know that your body is a loving vessel. So treating your body, like I was saying in number 1, with confidence, with energy, intentional about what you put in your body, the nutrients, the foods, the drinks, all that has so much to do with what you get in. Again, I'm giving myself examples because this is a journey I'm traveling through, and I used to be like, oh my gosh, I hate how I look. I hate how I feel. But I would do nothing about it. And this year I was like, you know what? No, we are going to change that. And I have. So I have completely transformed the way that I eat, the way that I look at food, the way that I look at myself. And I appreciate my body for birthing, for being able to hold babies in my womb, for keeping me alive when I almost lost my life with my first loss. And that is one thing that is so important, knowing that your body is a loving vessel. So all the things that you intake, knowing what you're putting into yourself. Number 5, this is the Marie Kondo way. Of course, everybody's going crazy about that. But cleaning out your closet. We recently did this about 2 weeks ago, and I cannot tell you how amazing I felt. Cleaning out my closet helped me clean my room. It helped me be positive about what I can actually fit into, what I have had hopes to fit into and I don't, so I just got rid of that. And making room for new things. And I highly recommend, if you're going to add something to your closet after you have emptied it out, whether that's clothes, shoes, jewelry, whatever, make sure you clean it out and you put something in. So if you're going to put something in, you clean it out. So for me, that's something that really has kind of like helped my husband and I. We have completely been able to transform our closet in the simplest of ways, so that we can have what we truly care for, what we love, what makes us happy. Number 6, no more comparisons. I know that in social media, it's really hard to not compare yourself to anyone, but listen, no matter what, whether your days are good or bad, don't ever compare yourself to anyone. Because that person might be vacationing, that person might be having a Lamborghini, that person might have a huge house, but we don't know exactly how they got there. We don't even know if that's true. We don't know. So don't compare yourself to something that you're just seeing in squares, and only compare yourself to you. How can you better yourself? Take the negative focus out and be grateful for what you do have. 7 is exploring your spirituality. So for me, faith is the foundation of self-love for me. God, I believe in God. I believe in the love that God provides, the grace. And to me, that is my foundation. To you, maybe something else. Simply explore and see what makes you happy. Number 8, do something that you're good at. And we'll talk about this later, but this is the ultimate like self-esteem booster. Self-love and self-esteem go hand in hand. So participating, whether that be in a hobby, something that you're doing for work, be the best version of you. If you like to cook, cook well. If you like to run, grab sneakers. So being the best that you can at what you like to do. Number 9 is finding your happy place. So think of the fact of like who comes into your house, who do you have around you, and what feelings do you get? So for me, self-love is connecting with myself as well. So I have a happy place where I feel happy when I can connect with myself and my thoughts and what I have in my heart. So taking that time, and being able to sit and embrace with people that you love and care about, that's happy. That's a happy place for me. And then number 10, build your letting go muscle. So we're constantly like holding on to things in the past, and they can just tend to weigh so heavy on our souls. So that can give us low self-esteem. So the more blocks we clear, the more we can really live big in the area of self-love. So those are my top 10 like practices for self-love. And I highly recommend that you take note, that you do a few, and start with a few, here and there, and just make those changes gradually, and you will see how much you will improve. The next type of love I want to talk about is romantic love. So romantic love has inspired poets for centuries and has been the subject of plays, songs, movies, and any other creative and artistic endeavor that you can think of. Why? Why do you think that is? Because anyone who's been in love knows that love is complicated and capable of emotions. And even within the heartbreak, you can still find love, right? I mean, it's like, wow, like what? So the relationships go through ups and downs. From the initial point of that intoxicating honeymoon phase to the sense of disappointment. And that takes time as well. To have a healthy, long-term relationship, marriage, all that, it takes long. And I think that briefly I'll talk about this because I know that I'm going to talk about my journey with my husband later on. But my husband and I met on Christmas Eve, and we got married 6 months later, and we have been married for almost 10 years this June. And I have to tell you that I was in a previous relationship for like 4, almost 5 years, and I never envisioned myself married to that person. Never thought that I would. And I mean, 4.5 years is a long time. And I just thought, I don't know, for some reason, it was just like not clicking. Like certain things were just not clicking. And I was young and naive. And then when I met my husband, it was like, yes, this is it. We found each other and we were like, okay, let's do this. We're ready. And everybody was like, what? You guys have only been together for 6 months. And we put a wedding together in like a month. And we wouldn't want anything big, but it ended up being huge. And it was amazing. But I just felt like it was the right thing. I felt like this is what I wanted. And it was just from God. Like we were just meant to be together. And I tell you that I have the best partner. I have the best husband. Like super, super supportive of my dreams. I'm super supportive of his dreams. We're always both pushing each other to do our best, to be our best. Even in the lowest of points, we find the way to be mature about a lot of things that maybe our first 6 months of marriage we weren't. And we would never thought we would make it this far, to be honest, because my husband had kids and it was really difficult for me to adjust to that, to being a full-time mom. But I did it and he walked me through it and it was amazing. So my husband, having that partner that truly embraces you, like that love is blind type of thing, that bliss that, you guys can be with each other and have that mature love that can grow from something so simple, but I definitely think that starting as a friendship is the way to do it. But yeah, signs of a mature love, for me is acceptance. My husband and I, we accept each other how we are. And I tell you, sometimes I've been so hard on myself because I thought like, you know what, like I hated how I was looking. And I was like, I had lost my first baby and I have this huge cut in my belly, and it just threw my self-esteem through the roof, or through the ground, I should say. But my husband accepted me as I was. I think also mature love has to do with emotional support, commitment, calmness, respect, caring, kindness, friendship, which I said before, and consideration, considering each other's feelings. And I think I had a hard time with this before, and I'm getting better. I'm not 100%, I'll be honest, but I'm getting better considering my husband. Also, I think that truly like understanding your love language is very important. So there's words of affirmation, there's acts of service, there is gifts, like receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. So learning those love languages and what your partner loves and what truly is their love language is very, very important. So you can look up, actually, if you go to 5lovelanguages.com, you can take a really quick test, like a quiz, that will show you what is your love language and what love language you like to give, like, like receiving and what you like to give. Also, understanding like people, I tend to ask friends of mine, like, what is your love language? A lot of them know their love language. So that helps me have a really good relationship with them. So that's something that you can keep in mind, when you have a close, tight circle with you, going through that together. Like, what is your love language? How do you understand each other as friends, as your partner? That is really, really important. You can also get information, if you have a teenager, your kids, like it's something that you can do with them, because many times with our kids, we feel like we know what they like, we grow with them, but there is a 5 love languages for children. And it's really amazing. So that's something that we have worked on. And I honestly can tell you that it has taken me a while. Like for my husband and I, we used to just, I guess, bicker a lot because we didn't really understand each other's love languages. And until that change came about, where we kind of were understanding each other, a lot of things changed. So I highly recommend that. It's by Gary Chapman, and he has quite a few books that are truly amazing. We have them. And yeah, take that quiz. The next thing that I want to discuss is career. Do you do what you love, or do you love what you do? These are questions that we want to be asking ourselves, as we mature into jobs and careers in our life, in our adulthood. And there's a few quotes I'm going to read, one is by Warren Buffett. It says, take a job that you love. And Maya Angelou says, pursue the things you love doing and then do them so well that people can't take their eyes off of you. And a famous one by Steve Jobs is, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. And just think about those really quick. And for me, Steve Jobs, like, it's right on the nail. Like, you have to be passionate about what you're doing, because if you're not going to do a really good job at it. You're not going to really do it with the best that you can give of you, And I had a friend one time that she used to work for a company. I'm not going to mention names, but she used to work for a company that she used to have to dress as a cow. And she was like hot on that thing. We would visit her when we were in high school, and she would be so hot in it, and she'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm dying of heat. But she loved doing it. Like, we all had different jobs in medical facilities or doing things that we were doing in high school, and she was like in it to win it with that job. She loved doing it, and we would tell her, go find something where you don't have to do all that. But she's like, I'm happy. I like doing it. And Right now she's into acting and all that. So I think that finding something that you really love and you feel, she probably wasn't like necessarily passionate about that, but she loved it enough to do a really good job at it. So I think that also the advice that they give us, nowadays is like find a job that you love. But truly, you could love a lot of things that you do, but do you have a passion for that? Are you willing to learn more on that and chase that dream and share the best that you can with the world? Research shows that great work or award-winning work is produced when people focus on doing something others love. The Great Work study showed that 88% of projects that earned awards began with an employee asking their own version of the question, what difference could I make that other people will love? So love your work is all about them, not you. The same study, a combined effort between the O.C. Tanner Institute and Forbes Insights, found that all cases of work being studied shared a single intention. The work was focused on making a difference that someone else would love instead of the person performing the job or the work. They were focused on the recipient of the work, their customer, their colleague who depended on them, their leader who trusts in them, and the community who expects their support or others who benefit from the work. So it's all about them. So they're providing, they're giving it. So one example that they give is Denise, a safety and environmental affairs manager at Subaru's manufacturing plant in Lafayette, if I'm saying that correctly, Indiana, a facility which produces approximately 180,000 vehicles per year. When Denise was assigned the daunting task of reducing 50 tons of landfill waste generated per day by the plant, she could have felt overlooked, and she began relegated to garbage duty for the whole plant. However, Denise thought about how Subaru owners would love knowing their car was produced in a facility that didn't generate landfill waste. She also thought about the pride her co-workers would feel if they succeeded in reducing this much waste. She says that she began by literally diving into her work, dumpster diving, as she described it, to analyze what kind of trash was being collected, hunting down where it came from, and learning why it was there. Over the next 2 years, she engaged dozens, then hundreds, then all 3,700 co-workers in the project. She was surprised at how many began to feel similar enthusiasm for eradicating landfill-destined waste from their work areas. Eventually, she and her team pulled it off. They had found a way to eliminate, recycle, or repurpose every bit of waste in the plant. The facility sends nothing to the landfill. Even the cafeteria waste is composed and provided to employees as a free benefit for their gardens. How cool is that, right? So that is like such a fascinating example of someone who found a way to love what she did. Because here's the thing, a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, like I hate my job, I hate this about it. Okay, but what can you change? How can you be a difference in that facility where you work? How can you make a difference and an impact in the world and love what you're doing? I think that in everything that we do, we can always find something that we love and go that route. So the point is that loving your job, loving your career is one thing. The activities, the responsibilities that you have on a day-to-day basis, but loving the impact of your job or your career, that has someone else, that has on someone else is like, it's another thing, loving the impact that your job has on someone, that is totally different. If you don't totally hate your job, but find that you're not happy with that, then try like a little simple activity. Like go and see your work being received. Like go and see the impact that you're doing on someone else or another coworker, a customer, a team, and who's benefiting from that. And that way you can run with that. Like, what are you causing into the world? What effect are you causing into the world? And quite possibly the best quote that you can ever read is, work is love made visible. And if you cannot work with love, but only with distaste, It is better that you should leave your work and sit at the gate of a temple and take alms of those who work with joy. That is by Khalil Gibran. Sorry. So yeah, loving what you do, I think that is in itself very true. Loving what we are doing, loving what the impact that. So it's not just about us. A lot of times we're like, oh my gosh, I'm so unhappy here. I'm so hating it. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not taking for granted. I'm taking for granted. But what other things can you change around? Can you look at all the positive things? And can that make you fall in love? And if not, then totally making a change of career or your job, finding something that you're passionate about. And I'm not saying go quit your job, go start your own thing and, go crazy. No, but finding that thing that you're passionate about. And for me, an example is I was truly like involved in that small shop community. I was doing a lot. And somewhere along the lines, I just lost that passion. But that didn't stop me from my focus, which was making an impact. So right now, our shop, even that we have, it makes an impact on missions. Families that are in a lot of need, we go on mission trips and we send money to missions over to Peru or wherever there's a big help. So to me, that lets me know that I feel so proud that I'm making a difference in the world, and not just here in the United States because we do things locally, but around the world. I'm changing someone's lives, and that in itself for me is the most rewarding thing about my brand. The blogs that we have, how are they impacting someone? When they read those words and they are encouraged, like, what impact am I making? That in itself makes me really happy. So those are the little things I wanted to talk about because it is Valentine's this week and we are all talking about love. And I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of mindful things to think about when it comes to love and the different types of things that you can evolve in love, because love is truly everything in your life. It revolves around everything. And if you don't have love, you don't have anything. But you are capable of making changes so that love can be received, love can be given, and I think that you have control of that. And I'll close today with a really quick quote that says, love is a consistently growing experience. And think about that and just apply it to every portion of your life. It means and makes sense when it comes to yourself, self-care. You are always growing in experiences with yourself. It makes sense for your partner. You're always growing in experiences with each other. It makes sense for your family. You guys are always growing in experiences with each other, and even separately on your own. And career, you're always learning. You're always growing through experiences in your career and your job and the things that you do. So I'll leave you with that today. And of course, if you feel that this has touched you in any way, leave us a comment, leave us a review, tag us on Instagram at Confident Motherhood, and let us know so that we can share it with the world. I wish you guys all an amazing and beautiful Valentine's Day, whether that is with someone or with yourself. Indulge in self-care if that's for you, if you're alone. And if you are with a partner, enjoy with your partner. And I think that keep the reminder that love should be celebrated every day. I love the fact that we take one day and we kind of just show it, but love should truly be celebrated every day. It's an everyday thing. It's an every act of yourself that you need to give into the world, to your family, to yourself. So always keep that in mind, that love should be celebrated every day. And love is a consistently growing experience. And until next time, have an amazing Valentine's and an amazing week ahead. Talk soon. Thank you for being here with us today. We hope that you're inspired, encouraged, and empowered to live confidently through your motherhood journey. You can find me on Instagram at Confident Motherhood or our website, confidentmotherhood.com. For any topic suggestions, questions, or stories you'd like us to share with our audience, please write us to hello@confidentmotherhood.com. Talk to you soon.